What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, some very important factors following the market, so what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I begin down this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. And the offer ends very soon, in just about 19 days from now. Anyways, SPY, Tesla, the market's looking quite bullish right now as we're seeing a lot of buyers stepping in. So I'm going to break down some information about next week and some levels to watch for and what you should be looking out for on the charts. But first, know that for Monday, it's going to be July 15th. The market does not have any significant data coming up before market open. That's actually a good sign for once, and it's going to give the market some leeway. So no data comes out till like after market opens. So I just want to give you guys a heads up about that. And then for earnings, we have some more important earnings starting as the cycle has now begun. And we actually have Goldman Sachs and BlackRock announcing earnings on Monday before the market opens. So if you want to play these, you guys could. It's up to you. I'm not going to force you to do anything, but this could be very fun to play, especially trying to play with Goldman. It's your choice, but I am seeing this as something that's worth noting. We also have more bank earnings later on as time goes on. And then I think the week after this, that's when we have like Teslas and more tech stocks starting their earnings the week after this one. So that's going to be very important. Anyways, going back to the charts, what do I see for us moving forward? The S&P 500 is up over 1.14%, pushing up very nicely as we look very bullish on the 4-hour, and we're actually approaching new all-time highs. So basically, we have support at 561.69 and also 560. When we were back down here, I told you that if we had broken 560, watch 561.69. And if that broke, look at this high right here, very close to 564. That's where we currently ended up going to. That's like where the high of the day is. And I think if we break this, we'll be easily going up to much higher levels. That's when we have like potential targets for like 565 and beyond. SPY is definitely more bullish than bearish. There's a lot more buyers stepping in that are defending it very strongly. So if we do close above 561.69, we're going to be in a very good position for next week, and we could be trying to push even higher. So we look more bullish from a technical standpoint. For Nvidia, we are looking more bullish as well. We've broken past 130. We're watching 131.5 as resistance. If that breaks, our next target is 133.8 to about 135. Once again, not looking bad whatsoever. We're actually favoring the upside. To be bearish, I want to see it lose 127. We're actually holding well above that. We have this imbalance to fill, so Nvidia has more upside potential. So far, so good from the chart. For Bitcoin is just trying to hold 58,000. We'll see if this holds or not. We kind of have like a bearish structure here. But it depends on the 58,000 holds. If we hold this, we could try to rebound to higher levels like 58,800 next week. And if we end up losing 58,000, we'll be dipping back down to 57,600. So I'll be watching to see how things end up going. But this is going to be very, very important, at least for us moving forward. For ES, for those interested in trading futures, we're still looking bullish on SPY. I would say that this is better for like scalping. I'd still be kind of careful with this, especially as we approach next week. Right now, we look bullish on the 4-hour. We'll be watching to see if we can break the all-time high and crack the 5,700, 5,710 area, actually. So I do see potential in this to push even higher. It's still looking very bullish to me, but let's see how it ends up closing. Let's see how momentum ends up continuing with the bank earnings. We still favor upside, so it's looking pretty good. But like I said before, watch that resistance. Tesla's been pushing all the way up to this 250 area, looking pretty nice. Now we're testing that as resistance. Let's see if we close above or below 248.36. That's the 4-hour 20 EMA. If we close above this, we'll be in a good place. If we close above 250, we'll be in an even better place. And I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case. Watch 248.35 as key support. If we lose that, we're going back down to 245. And as long as we hold above that, we have more upside potential going into next week. So far, the chart's looking more favorable for the upside. It's looking more bullish. And I do favor that, at least moving forward. For the QQQ, we're trying to push up higher. We have resistance currently around this just under 500 area. And we've actually held our support right over here around this 495 area. That's where the 20 EMA also happens to be. So watch 498 as resistance alongside just under 500. And we have support at 496.8 alongside 495. Overall, with the 4-hour kind of turning, we're looking more bullish. And I think that there is more upside potential. So I'm hoping that we continue to push. We might consolidate a bit before we continue, but overall, the chart still favors upside. It's looking more favorable in my personal opinion. But the reason why the QQQ is not as high as SPY, by the way. It's not at all-time highs. It's because of the fact that some tech stocks are kind of lagging, whereas others are still very strong. So the strong ones include like Nvidia and Apple. Apple's breaking out, testing 232's resistance. We also have support around 230. Overall, Apple's looking more bullish. It's looking like it wants to be breaking towards all-time highs again. So it's looking very, very nice. But we'll be watching 232 to see if we could crack that or not. That's going to be our key resistance. For others out there like Supermicro, got a nice bounce off our 20 EMA. We're looking more bullish. And when you zoom out from a technical standpoint, we have a slanted inverse head and shoulders. This is favoring upside for next week as we have this big imbalance to fill. So if we manage to break past 940, we're going all the way up to 980. The chart looks more bullish, so we'll see if that ends up being the case. For AMD is also trying to push higher. We're going to be looking at this range right over here as we have a bullish wedge forming. Watch 185 as resistance. If we break this, we're going to be pushing higher. Watch support all the way down here at 181.5. We are still looking more bullish in my opinion. For Coinbase, we're trying to break out higher. We're going to be looking at 223 as resistance, followed by 227. We have support currently at 220. We're kind of stuck in the middle. We're trying to push higher, so watch to see if we can break past 223 or even test that. So we'll have to give this a little bit more time. For Amazon, we're looking a little bit more bullish right over here. We're going to be looking to see if we could try to break past 195.7. Now, if we do break that, we're going to be going up to 197. If we fail to break 195.7, we're going to be rejecting back down. So it is looking like it wants to push higher, wants to break through this. So it's favoring upside a little bit more. But watch this resistance at 195.7. We'll see if we close above this or not. We'll see if we hold above this. That's going to be pivotal for how we end up moving for next week. For Meta, we're barely holding 500, and also we have key support at 497. We'll see if we bounce off one of these levels. We also have this resistance at 516 to be watching for if we do get a big bounce past 510. Right now, we're barely holding 500. So as long as we hold this, there is potential for us to try to rebound. If we lose it, then there could be a dip coming. So watch 500 and 497 as key supports. I think we might just shuffle for a bit as the share price is still kind of lackluster, but watch and see if we can hold 500 close above it. For Microsoft, we have 456.5 as resistance. If this breaks, we're going up to 459. If we fail to do this, we could actually come back down to 454. So watch to see if we can break 456.5. For Google, let's see if we can try to break past 188. We're actually trying to hold 187.2. If we hold this, there could be a nice rebound. I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case or not. So be very, very mindful and careful of that. For others out there, we also have GameStop. The 4-hour is once again more bullish, but like I said before, I would have liked to see a close above 26 to remain more bullish because we'll see if we close above that or not. If we don't close above that, we could actually retrace it, but then try to bounce again. So it's still a little lackluster, but I would have liked to see a close above 26 to remain bullish. Otherwise, we might just see a little dip and then a bounce after that. For AMC, we're also just consolidating, not really doing a whole lot. So I'm being very patient with this. There's not really much going on with this. But with that being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great weekend. I'm going to be back in just a couple of hours for one final video of the day. Besides that, the market is looking very strong. We're positioned for a very, very good move for next week. So we'll see how things go. With that being said, I want to thank you for listening. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon in just a couple of hours. Thanks again, and peace out.